Hi Capricorn, welcome to your weekly tarot messages. As always, keep in mind that this is only a general reading. Always take what it feels right and with what does resonate within your own life experiences during this time. If you would like a personal reading with me, please contact me through the email I put in the description box below. Or if you would like to donate and support my channel, you can also do so by following the PayPal link, which is also down below, and as well my Facebook and Instagram page. So for this week, I'll be focusing this reading not only in the manifestation of what might happen for you during this time, but also kind of giving it as a sneak peek into the story unfolding for you Capricorns into November. And it's like a portal of entrance into that of what the journey might be about. And Capricorn, I feel like your mind is in focus here this week and ahead as you go into November. I feel like you're trying to make sense of your reality and what to count with in this reality, this sense of you observing what surrounds you and everything kind of bringing you a heightened sense of worry, like not knowing who to trust, not knowing what's real, not knowing how to leave, the state of for some of you, it's like a state of mental crisis that it's very hard to break free from, as you do have the Nine of Swords as the energy of focus for this week and the focus as you go into November. So it might be something that you might still battling as you go into November, because the Nine of Swords is not an easy card to let go of, especially when we are very used to use the mind, right? Or we believe we are in use of mind when the mind is in use of us. Especially when you have here the Seven of Swords as your advice. Be very cautious, very careful in what you tell yourself during this period of time, in what you allow your mind to tell you, the thoughts you allow yourself to believe in and to get defined, but that especially, of course, thoughts that are very paranoid or based on fear, or based on just a lot of negative imprints of and projections of what might come about for you when you look at your future, or about a specific situation. So I would tell you that at least for this week, work on building, right, a healthier relationship with the mind, in erasing in the mind as much as you can, those tapes, those thought patterns that keep pushing you into state of crisis, trauma, disbelief, discontentment, because I feel like for some of you there's this chronic thing. Some of you there's this chronic pessimism or this chronic fearful base kind of again of perception of your reality that keeps coming up, and it makes you deceive yourself and others, most likely, as you have the Seven of Swords, or it makes you unable to see where the real deception lies. And this is dangerous, Capricorn, because I feel like some of you, there's this dark energy associated with the mind, as you also have here again, the Seven of Swords in this deck puts a lot of focus into the dark moon, when the moon is in the new phase. So it could be that up until November 7th, I believe, is when we're going to have the new moon in Scorpio, which is interesting, the dark moon in the dark sign, per se. It could be that up until the next new moon, you could be dealing with this. It could be an ongoing, stressful, repetitive period, or just you're having a hard time releasing whatever is causing you such fear. It's very important as well for you to address what it is. What does it start with? What's the real trigger that is pushing you into this crisis? Some of you, there's this mental tiredness, fatigue, breakdown, being unable to rest, being unable to detach from your own thoughts, as your challenge is exactly that, the Six of Swords. So you only have swords cards, which is interesting because the swords is all about our mental states. It's about the way we are processing information inside of us and as well in our outer realities. So communication could also be a source of havoc, actually chaos. It could be that there's a lot of misunderstandings and misinterpretation of what's being said, what's being told, and again, it could be that you're just being called to clear the mind first before you make any type of analysis or judgment. Yes, there might be things that are not right, but you're not being led by your intuition right now. You're being led by fear. So it could be that you're seeing things that are wrong where there are none, right? Where nothing is wrong. Or you could see things that are right when actually there's this underlying hidden agenda or motivation that's not really serving your best interests. It could be that you're dealing with sneaky people. It could be that you're dealing with manipulators, cheaters, liars of all sorts. It could be that someone is trying to take a hold of that mental weakness or state of weakness, fragility that you're facing, to use that against you. So just be careful with who you allow as well in your mind, because you're already having enough with your being. So when someone is telling you something, when someone is trying to make you believe something, if you feel like you can't think for yourself, don't listen, because it's very good to listen to others. It's very good to have outside perspectives and opinions. Of course, it's very good, and we should take that as serious as that can be. But when we don't have ability to think for ourselves aside of what we're being told or advised to do, this is dangerous, because it's the perfect time and opportunity for us to be completely manipulated by people or just situations that want to take that want to use us in a certain way. They want to rob from us something that we hold. But because we are weakened, right, it's easier. It's like a prey. Your mind is like a prey during this period of time. So be careful with that. The challenge is the Six of Swords, so work on exercising the sense of detachment of the mind and being more away from your own thoughts, getting yourself involved with activities and people and places that help you detach and decompress and actually disconnect. I feel like some of you would also benefit from being away, like not being so much time online or with the phone, or in the busy sense of the world, like going into nature, taking a weekend off, completely like off period for a while, so that you can help your mind unwind here and kind of let go of what's not needed, so you can see the reality of what's going on with you and your outer reality. So I hope you have a great week. Thank you so much for all of you that have been liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting, and donating to my channel. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Hopefully we'll see each other soon.